Hello there, welcome back to Max's Cards and Dice Dugout. This is episode number 116. Hope everyone's doing well. Robert Max here, and we are at Milwaukee County Stadium for game number 36 of the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Oldtimer Kings King of the Hill tournament, which has the current Kings, the 1957 Milwaukee Braves, hosting the 1962 San Francisco Giants. You probably already know this, but we use the Oldtimer teams issued by Strat-O-Matic, I believe, in the 70s. These are basic only 20-man rosters, and that's what we have been using in this tournament. But before we get to the starting lineups for this game, let's take a look at the status of the Hill. So the Braves are trying to get that fifth win and keep this tournament here at Milwaukee County Stadium, and that would tie them with the 1954 Indians, 1950 Phillies, and the 1950 Yankees with 5 wins. The Giants are 3-3 and are hoping to get this tournament out there to Candlestick. And we got the 65 Twins on deck with the 61 Reds in the hole. All right, starting lineups for Game 36 of the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Oldtimer Kings Tournament. Leading off for the Giants in left field, Harvey Keene. Batting second is Chuck Hiller. He's the second baseman. Batting third is Felipe Alou. He's in right. Batting fourth, center fielder Willie Mays. Batting fifth, first baseman Orlando Cepeda. Batting sixth is Jim Davenport. He's at third base. Batting seventh is Jose Pagan. He is at short. Batting eighth is Ed Bailey, who is behind the plate today. He's playing for the injured Tom Haller, who will be out 5 more games. That's including this game. And batting ninth and pitching is Jack Sanford. In 1962, he was 24-7 with a 3.43 ERA, 265 innings pitched. He gets the number 2 pitcher's hitting card. Now for the current Kings, the 1957 Milwaukee Braves, leading off in center field is Bill Bruton. Batting second at short, Johnny Logan. Batting third is Eddie Matthews. He's at third base. Batting fourth is right fielder Hank Aaron. Batting fifth is left fielder Wes Covington. Batting sixth, Joe Adcock. He's at first. Batting seventh is Red Shanedeast. He's at second base. Batting eighth is Del Crandall. He's the catcher and on the hill. And batting ninth is Lou Burdette. In 1957, he was 17-9 with a 3.71 ERA and 257 innings of work. He also is a number 2 hitting pitcher, so he gets that card put in the lineup for him. And we're about ready to get underway here. Burdette's finished his warm-up tosses. Harvey Keene's in the batter box. Umpire says play ball, and here we go. That's a ground ball to third baseman Eddie Matthews over to Joe Adcock. And there's one away here in the top of the first. Harvey Keene is retired. That's going to bring up Chuck Hiller, Giants second baseman. And he lines this one right at Adcock, who makes a nice play for the second out. So 2 up, 2 down, and that's going to bring up Felipe Alou. 2 outs, nobody on here in the top of the first. The inning's not over because Alou hits one up the middle. That's fielded by Bill Bruton. And Felipe makes the turn, but he's going to hold at first base. So he's on first with 2 outs. And center fielder Willie Mays. And Mays hits one into right field. Aaron gets that one back in quickly. Alou is able to advance to third. And the Giants have runners on the corners with 2 outs. For first baseman Orlando Cepeda. A little bit of trouble for Burdette here in the top of the first. See if he can get out of this jam. But Cepeda gets a hold of this one, and that's going to send Billy Bruton back to the wall. He jumps up, and it's out of here, gone. A 2-out, 3-run home run for Orlando Cepeda. That clears the bases and gives the Giants a 3-0 lead here in the top of the first with 2 outs. So Lou Burdette gets 3 fatigue points. Two outs, nobody on. Giants lead 3-0 here in the top of the first on Orlando Cepeda's 3-run shot to center field. And look out, Davenport gets a hold of this one. That's going to send Covington back to the wall. It's up, out of here, gone. Back-to-back home runs for the Giants, and it's now 4-0. And there is some movement going on out there in the Braves bullpen. That's 4 fatigue points for Burdette. And we're still in the top of the first. So base is still empty. 2 outs. Giants lead 4-0. Top of the first. It's Jose Pagan, and he pops this one up. It's going to stay in the infield. And Matthews is under that, makes the catch for the 3rd out. But not before the Giants score 4 on 2 home runs. One from Cepeda, which was a 3-run shot, and a solo shot from Davenport. And Lou Burdette picks up his 5th fatigue point. So after 1/2 inning of play, it's the Giants 4 and the Braves coming up to bat. So leading off for the Braves here in the bottom of the first is Billy Bruton. He hits a ground ball to Hiller, over to Cepeda. 4-3 put out, and there's one away here in the bottom of the first. That's going to bring up Brave shortstop Johnny Logan. 1 out, nobody on. Logan gets a hold of this one, sends it down the right field line, or excuse me, the left field line. Harvey Keene's able to get it in quickly. So Logan makes the turn, but he'll hold it first. So it's a man on first with 1 out. And third baseman Eddie Matthews. Braves trail 4-0 here in the bottom of the first. And that's back-to-back singles for the Braves. Logan's going to hold it second. We got runners on first and second with 1 out. And right fielder Hank Aaron. And that's a strikeout, first strikeout for Sanford, and there's 2 away here in the bottom of the first. So 2 outs, men on first and second, and left fielder Wes Covington. He hits a ground ball to first base, and Orlando Cepeda is going to take that unassisted for the 3rd out. And the Braves do get some base runners, but can't get anyone across. And with 1 inning in the books, it's the Giants 4 and the Braves 0. Jack Sanford gets his first fatigue point. Lou Burdette, who's at 5, is out here for the top of the second. And leading off for the Giants is Ed Bailey, who's playing for the injured Tom Haller. And that's a strikeout. First strikeout for Lou Burdette. There's 1 away here in the top of the second. Braves lead 4-0. And that's going to bring up pitcher Jack Sanford. And Sanford hits a ball past second baseman Red Shandies. Rolls out to center field. Aaron gets it, or excuse me, Billy Bruton gets it in quickly. It scored a hit, and Sanford is on first with 1 out. Back to the top of the order for the Giants and Harvey Keene. Keene is 0 for 1. He hits a ground ball to third baseman Eddie Matthews. And he's going to go the short way, second base, to Red Shandies. They get, or excuse me, I'm looking at the wrong inning. So that's a ground ball to third baseman Eddie Matthews over to Joe Adcock. I apologize for that. So you get warts and all with this channel. And that's a 5-3 put out for the second out of the inning, or is that the second out of the inning? I gotta look back again. Harvey Keene rolled a 2-8. That's a ground ball B. All right, so that is a 5-3 put out, and it allows Sanford to move up to second base. So he's on second with 2 outs. And second baseman Chuck Hiller. I apologize for the little bit of confusion. He hits a fly ball to center field. That's Chuck Hiller. Billy Bruton's under that, near the track, makes the catch for the 3rd out. And the Giants get a runner in scoring position, but can't bring him home. After 1.5, it's the Giants 4, and the Braves nothing. Burdette gets his 6th fatigue point. Sanford, who's at 1, is out here for the bottom of the 2nd, and he's going to face Joe Adcock, Rhett Shandies, and Del Crandall. And Adcock draws a leadoff walk, which is never a good thing. So he's on first, nobody out, Red Shandies at the plate. And Shandies hits this one into the right center gap. Adcock makes it to third. He's held up there. Shandies makes the turn at first, but he'll hold, excuse me, with the single. And there's runners on the corners with nobody out. And catcher Del Crandall. He hits a ground ball back to the pitcher Jack Sanford. And the infielder's playing back. So it's going to be a... You have to excuse me, I'm a little slow tonight. That's going to be a 1-6-3 double play. Shandies is forced at second, but it does allow Adcock to score. The Giants concede that run. So Crandall picks up an RBI, and Sanford picks up his 2nd fatigue point, and the score is now 4-1 in favor of the Braves, and that's going to bring up Lou Burdette. And because of the 20-man rosters, Burdette's staying in there now. So there's 2 outs, nobody on. And Burdette hits a ground ball to second baseman Jim Hiller over to Orlando Cepeda for the 3rd out. But the Braves do pick up a run, and after 2 innings of play, it's the Giants 4 and the Braves 1. Sanford gets his 3rd fatigue point. Burdette, who's at 6, is out here for the top of the 3rd. First batter he's going to face is Felipe Alou. Alou singled and scored a run his first time up. And this is not good. He hits a line drive to second base. That's fielded, or caught, I should say, by Shandies. But Alou comes up little bit, looks like he's hurt out there. And the trainer's coming out to check him out. And it looks like a pretty serious injury. And on a roll of a 20, he's going to be out for 15 more games. Oh my goodness. Braves are down to 2 bench players. So Lou's going to have to be replaced. And it looks like it's going to be his brother, Matty. He's going to take his brother's place in the lineup. Next time around, it'll be Matty Alou batting in the 3 spot. And that's a tough break for the Giants. They already have Howler out for 5 more games. Now they lost to Felipe Alou for 15. So there's 1 out, nobody on, Willie Mays. Mays singled and scored a run his first time up. This time he hits a ground ball to third base. It's Matthews to Adcock. And there are 2 away. So 2 outs, nobody on. And Orlando Cepeda, who hit a 3-run home run his first time up. This time he hits a ground ball to shortstop. Johnny Logan fires over to Joe Adcock. 6-3 put out. And the Giants go 1-2-3 in the top of the 3rd. So 2.5 innings in the books. It's the Giants 4. And the Braves 1. Burdette gets his 7th fatigue point. That's 7. Sanford, who's at 3, is out here for the bottom of the 3rd. And it's the top of the order for the Braves. Billy Bruton, Johnny Logan, Eddie Matthews. It's a ground ball back to pitcher Jack Sanford. He jogs over towards first base and underhands to Orlando Cepeda for the first out. And they get Bruton easily. So there's 1 out. Nobody on, Johnny Logan. Giants lead 4-1 here in the bottom of the 3rd. That's a ground ball to second base. It's an X check. Hiller is a 3. We roll a 19. And that tells me to select another split card. So we'll roll again, and that tells me to select another split card. We'll try a 3rd time. This time we roll a 9. And Hiller makes a nice play. Diving stop from his knees over to Adcock, or excuse me, over to Cepeda. Now I'm in the bottom of the 3rd. It's Hiller to Cepeda. Oh my goodness. Oh, whoever it was out there, there are 2 away here in the bottom of the 3rd. 2 outs, nobody on, Eddie Matthews. That was Jim Hiller over to Orlando Cepeda. 2 outs, nobody on for the Braves, and they're trailing 4-1 here in the bottom of the 3rd. It's a ground ball to the shortstop. It's an X check. Jose Pagan is a 2. We roll a 5. And Pagan makes a nice play from deep in the hole. Fires over to Cepeda, and they get Matthews by a half step to end the inning. So the Braves go 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 3rd, and with 3 innings in the books, it's the Giants 4 and the Braves 1. Sanford gets his 4th fatigue point. Lou Burdette, who's at 7, is out here for the top of the 4th. And it's Jim Davenport, Jose Pagan, and Bailey, the backup catcher. That's a ground ball to shortstop by Davenport. It's an X check. Pagan's a 2. Or excuse me, not Pagan. Logan, he's a 3. I'm getting these teams backwards today. We roll a 7. And a nice play by Pagan. No, not Pagan. Oh my goodness. I gotta take a time out here. It's a nice play by Logan. And it's a 6-3 put out for the first out. And just gotta bear with me, guys. The brain's not working correctly tonight. All right, so 1 out, nobody on. Jose Pagan. And he lines this one towards shortstop. Logan jumps and makes the catch for the second out. Robs Pagan of at least a single. So there's 2 outs, nobody on. And Ed Bailey. Bailey's 0 for 1. He struck out back in the second. And he hits a line drive to third baseman Eddie Matthews, who robs him of a hit as well. And that's the 3rd out. So the Giants go 1-2-3 in the top of the 4th. And after 3.5, it's the Giants 4 and the Braves 1. Lou Burdette gets fatigue point number 8. Jack Sanford, who's at 4, is out here for the bottom of the 5th. Or the bottom of the 4th, I should say. And it's going to be Hank Aaron, Wes Covington, and Joe Adcock, who he'll face. Red Shandies if anyone gets on base. But here's Aaron. He hits a fly ball to left field. And that sends Harvey Keene back to the track, and he makes the catch. And there's 1 away. So 1 out, nobody on for Wes Covington, who is 0 for 1. He pops this one up. It's going to stay in the infield. And Orlando Cepeda calls everyone else off near the bag. Makes the catch for the second out. And that's 2. With no one on. And Joe Adcock. Adcock he walked his first time up and scored a run. And this time he strikes out. That's the 2nd strikeout for Sanford, and that's going to end the inning. So 1-2-3 for the Braves also in the 4th, and with 4 innings complete, it's the Giants 4 and the Braves 1. And Sanford gets his 5th fatigue point. Lou Burdette, who's at 8, is out here, and he's going to face his counterpart, Jack Sanford, who singled his first time up. And he strikes out this time. That's strikeout number 2 for Burdette. There's 1 away here in the top of the 4th. Top of the 5th. My. All right, Harvey Keene, 0 for 2. 2 ground outs to third base. This time he lines one right at first baseman Joe Adcock. And there are 2 away. So 2 outs and nobody on. And Chuck Hiller, Giants second baseman. Hiller is 0 for 2. It's a ground ball to first base. It's an X check. Adcock's a 4. We roll a 13. And Adcock makes a nice play. He's going to go to the bag unassisted for the 3rd out. And once again, the Giants go 1-2-3. Things seem to have settled down for Lou Burdette, but he is running out of steam. He gets his 9th fatigue point. And after 4.5, it's the Giants 4 and the Braves 1. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. Leading off for the Braves is Red Shandies. He's 1 for 1. And here's the pitch from Sanford. It's a ground ball to second base. It's an X check. Hiller is a 3. Roll of 17. And we got to roll again. 4. Hiller makes a nice play and gets Shandy's by a half a step, firing over to Orlando Cepeda. So it's a 4-3 put out. There's one away here in the bottom of the 5th. It's going to bring up catcher Del Crandall. Crandall's 0 for 1. He hit into a double play his last time up, but he did pick up an RBI as Joe Adcock scored. And that's a base hit for Crandall. He makes the turn, but he's going to hold it first. So he's on first with 1 out. Pitcher Lou Burdette. We have a diminished bench over there. And Burdette's he's gonna hit here. May not be the smartest idea, but he's actually he's gonna swing away. 6-4. He pops this one up, it's gonna stay in the infield. Hiller's under that, makes the catch. They're 2 away. So 2 outs, man on first. That's Del Crandall. And Billy Bruton at the plate. Bruton's 0 for 2. He hits a ground ball to second baseman. Hiller over to Cepeda. Another 4-3 put out, and that's it for the Braves here in the bottom of the 5th. So with 5 innings complete, it's the Giants 4 and the Braves 1. Sanford gets his 6th fatigue point. Burdette, who's at 9, is back out. And first batter is going to be Matty Alou, playing for his injured brother Felipe. And here's the pitch. And that's going to be a hit for Alou. He hits one right up the middle. And it's a leadoff single. So Alou's on first with nobody out. It's a stealing D, so he's not much of a threat to go there. So man on first, nobody out. Giants lead 4, and it's 4-1. And here's Willie Mays. It's a ground ball to second base. It's an X check. Shandy's is a 1, and we roll an 8. And that's going to be a nice play by Shandy's. It's going to be Shandy's to Logan to Adcock for a 4-6-3 double play. And there are 2 away. 2 outs, nobody on. Orlando Cepeda. Cepeda is 1 for 2 with a home run. Here's the pitch from Burdette. And this is a ground ball to second baseman Red Shandy's, over to Joe Adcock to end the inning. So that's it for the Giants here in the 6th, and with 5.5 in the books, the Giants lead 4-1. Lou Burdette picks up his 10th fatigue point. And Jack Sanford, who's at 6, is out here for the bottom of the 6th. And it's going to be Johnny Logan, Eddie Matthews, and Hank Aaron. That's a leadoff single for Logan. He's now 2 for 3. So he's on first, nobody out. And Eddie Matthews, who is 1 for 2. Here's the pitch from Sanford. And that's ball 4. So Matthews draws the walk. Logan moves up to second. And Hank Aaron, who could tie this game with 1 swing of the bat, comes to the plate. And on first and second, nobody out. Braves trail 4-1. And that's a ground ball to third base. And that is going to be Davenport to Hiller to Cepeda for a 5-4-3 double play. 2 outs. Logan is able to move over to third on that, so he's on third with 2 outs, and Wes Covington. Here's the pitch. He pops this one up. It's staying in the infield, over near third base. Davenport's under that, makes the catch. And that's it for the Braves here in the 6th. So it's 6 innings complete. It's the Giants 4 and the Braves 1. Sanford gets his 7th fatigue point. And Burdette, who's at 10, doesn't have much left in the tank, so there's going to be some activity in the bullpen. It's going to be Juan Pizarro warming up for the Braves. But right now it's Lou Burdette facing Jim Davenport here in the top of the 7th. Davenport is 1 for 2 with a home run, solo shot back in the 1st. This time he hits a fly ball to left field. Wes Covington's under that, near the track, makes the catch, 1 away here in the top of the 7th. That's going to bring up Jose Pagan, who is 0 for 2, Giants shortstop. But no longer, as he hits a 1-out single right up the middle. Makes the turn, holds it first. So Pagan's on first with 1 out, and backup catcher Ed Bailey. He lines out the first base. Adcock tries to get Pagan, but Pagan gets back before Adcock can get to the ball, or to the bag, I should say. And there's 2 away. So 2 outs, man on first, and pitcher Jack Sanford, who is 1 for 2. It's a fly ball to right field. Aaron's under that, makes the catch, and that's it for the Giants here in the 7th. So it's 6.5 in the books. It's the Giants 4 and the Braves 1. Burdette gets his 11th fatigue point, so that's going to be it for him today. Sanford is at 7 as we go to the bottom of the 7th after the stretch has been completed. And it's going to be Joe Adcock, Red Shandies, and Del Crandall. It's a ground ball to first base by Adcock. It's an X check. Cepeda is a 3, and we roll a 6. Cepeda makes a diving stop, tosses to Jack Sanford covering for the 3-1 put out, and the first out here in the bottom of the 7th. That's going to bring up Red Shandies. Shandies is 1 for 2. Here he draws a walk, 1-out walk. So we got Shandies on first, Del Crandall, who is 1 for 2, coming to the plate. Giants lead 4-1 here in the bottom of the 7th. It's a fly ball to center field. Willie Mays is under that, makes the catch, and there's 2 away. That's going to bring up the pitcher spot, and we are going to have a pinch hitter. And it's going to be Frank Torrey, pinch hitting for Lou Burdette. And Torrey's going to stay in the game and play first base. And Pizarro will bat in the number 6 spot. So we're going to do a double switch here. Alright, so it's Torrey pinch hitting. And he's going to play first. That's going to be a 1, a 2. And Torrey is a 2 at first base. All right, so there's 2 outs, man on first, and it's Frank Torrey pinch hitting for Lou Burdette, whose day is done. And that's a 2-out single. Shane Dees has to hold up at third. And we're back to the top of the order for the Braves. And Billy Bruton. Can Bruton keep this going? Let's find out. Yes, he can. That's a single to right field. That's going to score Shane Dees, and it's now 4-2. And Torrey moves to third. So there's runners on the corners with 2 outs. Bruton picks up an RBI. And Sanford picks up a fatigue point. He's at 8. That's going to bring up Johnny Logan, Braves shortstop. Scores now 4-2 in the bottom of the 7th. The Braves have runners on the corners with 2 outs. Here's Logan. He pops this one up. It's going to stay in the infield. Jose Pagan's under that. Makes the catch. And that's it for the Braves in the bottom of the 7th. But they do pick up a run on Bill Bruton's RBI single. And after 7, the Giants lead 4-2. And Sanford gets his 9th fatigue point. And the new pitcher for the Braves is going to be Juan Pizarro. In 1957, Pizarro was 5-6 with a 4.64 ERA and 99 innings pitched. He's a number 3 hitting pitcher. So we'll replace that in the lineup. And remember, Torrey's now batting in the 9th spot. And Pizarro's batting in the 6th spot. Or excuse me, 7th. Yeah, 6th spot. And he is a number 3 hitting pitcher. All right. Wanted to get that straightened out, but here we are in the top of the 8th with new pitcher for the Braves, Juan Pizarro. And it's the top of the order for the Giants, Harvey Keene. And look out. That is a deep fly ball to right field. That sends Aaron back to the track. It's up over his head, out of here, gone. A leadoff home run for Harvey Keene. And just like that, the Giants get that run back, and it's now 5-2. So Pizarro gets his first fatigue point. I already gave it to him. Now it's Chuck Hiller for the Giants. He's 0 for 3. And he's 0 for 4 now because he struck out. There's 1 away. First strikeout for Pizarro. So 1 out, nobody on. Matty Alou, who's 1 for 1. Giants now lead 5-1. And look out. He gets a hold of that one. It's off the wall in left field. He cruises into second base with a stand-up double. He's got a man on second with 1 out, and Willie Mays. Mays is 1 for 3 with a run scored. We're here in the bottom of the, or excuse me, the top of the 8th. And the Giants lead 5-2. And that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 2 for Pizarro. And there are 2 away in the top of the 8th. And Orlando Cepeda comes to the plate, who is 1 for 3. That one was a 3-run homer in the top of the 1st. And we got Matty Alou on second base, and here's the pitch. It's a ground ball to third base. It's going to be an X check. Matthews is a 2, and we roll a 20. And we need to roll again. 3. Nice play by Matthews. Fires over to Joe Adcock for the 3rd out. But the Giants pick up another run. And after 7.5, they lead the Braves 5-2. Jack Sanford, or excuse me, Juan Pizarro gets his 2nd fatigue point. Jack Sanford, who's at 9, is back out here for the bottom of the 8th. And it's going to be Eddie Matthews, Hank Aaron, and Wes Covington. That's a leadoff walk for Matthews. Never like to see that. There is some activity in the Giants bullpen. Looks like it's Billy Pierce out there warming up. There's a man on first with nobody out. Here's Hank Aaron, who's 0 for 3. He hits a ground ball to short, and that's going to be Pagan to Hiller to Cepeda for the 6-4-3 double play. 2nd double play Aaron has hit into in this game. And now the bases are empty with 2 outs. And Wes Covington. Covington is 0 for 3. That's a 2-out walk. Sanford might be running out of gas. We got a man on first with 2 outs. And pitcher Juan Pizarro. And Pizarro hits a ground ball right up the middle for a 2-out single. And now it's runners on first and second for the Braves and Red Shandies. Shandies is 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. And Sanford's still in here, trying to get it through this 8th inning. Here's the pitch to Shandies. He hits a fly ball to deep left field. And that sends Harvey Keene back on the track, makes the catch. And that's it for the Braves here in the bottom of the 8th. So with 8 innings complete, it's the Giants 5 and the Braves 2. All right, Sanford gets his 10th fatigue point. So his day is probably over. Pizarro is at 2. He's out here for the top of the 9th. And it's going to be Davenport, Pagan, and Bailey. And that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 3 for Juan Pizarro. And there's 1 away here in the top of the 9th. So the bases are empty. 1 out. And shortstop Jose Pagan, who is 1 for 3. He hits a fly ball to center field. Bill Bruton's under that, makes the catch near the track, and there are 2 away. So 2 outs, nobody on, and catcher Ed Bailey. I keep wanting to call him Earl. Catcher Ed Bailey, here's the pitch. And he hits a fly ball to right field. Hank Aaron's under that, makes the catch. And the Braves, or excuse me, the Giants go 1-2-3 in the top of the 9th. And with 8.5 innings in the books, it's the Giants 5 and the Braves 2. This will be the last chance for the Braves. Pizarro gets his 3rd fatigue point. Sanford's trying to hang on out here and get the complete game. Billy Pierce is warmed up and throwing as needed. but looks like there's going to be some more action out there, and it's going to be Bob Boland's going to start warming up also. All right, so here we are, bottom of the ninth. It's Del Crandall, the pitcher spot, or excuse me, no, it's not the pitcher spot. It's Torrey, and then Billy Bruton. So here we go, Sanford to Crandall. And Crandall hits a deep fly ball to left field. Harvey Keene back to the track, to the wall. He jumps and makes the catch for the first out. There's one out, nobody on. Frank Torrey. Giants are 2 outs away from becoming kings of the hill again. Here's the pitch to Torrey. It's a fly ball to right field. Matty Allou's under that, makes the catch. 2 away. Here it is, last chance for the Braves with Billy Bruton. Two outs, nobody on. Bruton's 1 for 4. Can he keep this game alive? He hits a ground ball to second base. Hiller to Cepeda. 4-3 for the final out. And that's it for this one. We have a new king of the hill in the San Francisco Giants. They make a return there as they win this one 5-1. Or excuse me, 5-2. Let's get some totals for you. For the Giants, 5 runs on nine hits, committed no errors. The Braves 2 runs on seven hits and no errors. Winning pitcher, of course, is Jack Sanford. And the loss goes to Lou Burdette. So the Braves had a nice little run there, winning 3 in a row, but now they go to the bottom and will have to wait their turn again. And the next opponent for the Giants at Candlestick will be the 1965 Minnesota Twins. So that's going to do it for this one. This episode of Max's Cards and Dice Dugout. If you hung out with me tonight, I appreciate it. If you stayed to the end, I appreciate your patience. And I'll be back again in the near future with another video. And until then, take care.